for rugby league, and it's between our number 1 and 2 teams, and the only difference is the points difference. Tupapa's ended up on top. They both only lost 1 game to each other, but the Panthers have scored 450 points, not exactly, but just a little bit less than that, and they've had a phenomenal season, but Avatiu are just the battlers, and it's going to be a great game, this one. I'm looking forward to it, and we got the right referee. Tualua is our referee. He's laying down the law to both these teams, but I've been speaking to the players in both teams, and they're both looking forward to a big game today, so let's hope it's all good and it turns out the way it should. We're getting a little bit of overcast. The clouds are coming in. We might get a shower of rain, but hope we don't. But just before the game starts, I just want to thank our sponsors before we start, which is Cook Island General Transport has been with us all the time. Vodafone, who supplies our internet and the Wi-Fi. And Raro Cars, who sponsors the competition. And we go to Vaka TV and 89.5 on the FM dial. And Don Carlo sponsors the competition for the rugby league. And we got Hutt City Radio listening in with Peter Winchester and all his followers there, and they'll be tuned in. And we've had a bit of a surprise here because the PNG guys were supposed to leave here on Tuesday, but there's no flights out of Australia to New Guinea, so they've had to stay. And I said to them, you're better off staying here because we don't have any COVID-19, and that's a bonus for the people who want to watch this game of football. But this will be an exciting game. The stadium looks in perfect order, and Lou is laying down the law because it could get fiery because there's a lot at stake in this game. The winner of this goes straight into a grand final, and the loser will go into the preliminary final against Ararangi, who won the game yesterday against Arjataki 32-30. A little bit controversial, but that's the nature of our game over here. But we're going to be off very shortly here. It's coming overcast, but it's a beautiful afternoon for football. I just hope the game goes quick because it gets very dark here, and it'll be an interesting afternoon. But they're both in the middle, and these are our top 2 teams, and I hope you sit back and enjoy this game. I'm just waiting to see what's going on, and it looks like the Panthers going right to left, and it looks like they're kicking off, and we've got a big wind blowing over here in Raro. We've got a lot of mountains, and the wind gets down into the valleys here, and we're in a valley, and the wind swirls around, and we've just finished an exciting second or their reserve grade. It was 26-24 to Ararangi, so they're the first team into the reserve grade final. It was an exciting game, very controversial, but it was a good, exciting game. The crowd loved it. We haven't got a very big crowd here today, but I'm sure next week for the final and the grand final, it'll be on for young and old, and we're off. See the ball sitting up high, and it's gone out on the full. Terrible mistake from the Panthers first up. So we go back to the halfway mark. That's a penalty for Avatiu. And the referee's telling them to make sure they're back 10 metres, and the linesmen are slow getting into position, but they've got to play their part in this game because the game shouldn't have to be won by the referee decisions. It's got to be won by the players. So that's a good kick, 30 metres out, and it's first ball to Avatiu. See what they can do. There's a little bit of a tap, and here comes the big men, and the Panthers forwards last week were tremendous. I was very impressed with them, and they do a good job every week. But our favourite player's playing fullback, Mafu, and he's an interesting character. I was talking to him. They're short of a try line, the Eels, and they're very close. Got a couple of tackles up their sleeve, and they're going to put a little kick over the top. He's chasing it, and the bounce has beat them all, but it's gone dead. But if you get a close-up of him, he's got an interesting haircut, and he's from the highlands in New Guinea, and he tells me it's all significant about this and that and this and that, and I respect him. His culture is very important to him, but we're blessed to have him here and the two other boys because they're very exciting. That's time off, waiting for a ball. But this game is going to go deep into the second half, I would imagine. And if you had to watch the game last week, was one right on the 80th minute where it was 20-all, and Mafu set up a try and it went 26-20. And the defence of the Panthers were good last week. They just slipped up in the last minute, and you can't do that with the Eels because they just at you all the time. So it's 30 metres out, tackle one. That's a good run up the middle. Here they come, the Eels are on the attack. They're 10 metres out. We haven't got a team sheet from them, so I can only go on what I can see out there. And out they come. The big wide ball, here they go. It's a nice ball, but it's been covered by the Panthers. Last tackle coming up, and they've gone from dummy half, and he's lost the ball. It's a changeover. That looks like CO taking the ball up. They're well aware, but they can't let him go because he's one of the real stars of this team. Good defence, 30 metres out. This is going to be a cracking game. It's going to get into it, a little knock on. And the referee don't miss those sort of things. So this is putting pressure on the Panthers, 30 metres out. A scrum off their mistake, and that's the sort of thing you can lose the game over. But while the scrum's going down, it looks like the ball might be a little bit flat, or they might have had two balls on the field. But it's going to be an interesting afternoon. But the first team into the final played yesterday was the Bears. They won an exciting game against Jatucky, 32-30. And here we go with the Eels, and he's put it down. There's a lucky break for the Panthers because they're going to get the ball back. And that ball's been thrown away, so there's no air in it. But you'd think they'd check that before the game. So I've got a scrum going down, 40 metres out from the Panthers try line. It's a Panthers scrum and feed. And a little bit of difference in the play. It looks like Junior might be playing fullback for the Panthers. There's a good run. They're down to the halfway mark. Tackle one up, then they're off. They got the ball out. Good run. Second tackle, ref. Good defence from the Eels. And that's what you rely on. A little bit high. He's not gonna muck around with these. I'm sure he would have said to him. First one, I'll give you a caution. Second one, you'll end up in the sin bin. And that's the only way to keep this game under control because they're fierce rivals, these two clubs. And he's off. And that's fair enough. So 10 minutes in the sin bin. That's for the hit man, Logan Peronisi. Hard man. He plays hard, takes hard hits, gives hard hits. But that just gives 10 minutes to the Panthers to try and do something. So here we go. Tap, tackle one, up the middle. Gone very close. He's 10 metres out. Very close to the line. They're going out wide. Held up short of the line. They're going to go out wide. He's offside by 100 yards, but he's got away with it. Oh, it's gone to Neville, nobody. And that's CO's got the ball. Smart football. He's going to get dragged over the side. The referee said, come back and play. He called held. And they're going, oh, terrible pass. Good recovery. Lucky to get away with the Panthers. But they're going to play their upbeat game of football by the look of things, which is the only thing they know. They play their speed. Little kick over the top. It's been covered up. And it's an Eels ball on their try line. There's a little knock on there, so we're going to have a scrum 10 metres out from the Eels try line. It's going to take a while for this game to settle down. It's going to be a Panthers ball. They've come out to the 15-metre mark, so we're going to have a scrum. The ref says get onside the Eels. Ball's in, ball's out. They're going to run it. Oh, good defence from the Eels. 5-10 metres out. Tackle one. They're going to the left-hand side. Here comes the runners. There's a big run and they're in. The Panthers are in. Simple move. Speed's done it. So it's 4-0. 4-0 for the Panthers, and the Eels won't be happy about that because that was a pretty soft try. But that's what the Panthers can do because they've got this phenomenal speed in their team. And they're smarting because they lost the game right on the bell last week. And here's one of our real reliable kickers, Gabby Kalepi from the Super Club, and while he's taking this kick, it's 4-0 and he knows these kicks are important. And it's going to be 4-0, kick to come. But I just want to thank our sponsors today, Cook Island General Transport. Thank you, Malcolm, for being with us. We've got Don Carlo from Raro Cars, and he is the sponsor for the competition. We've got Dave Roofer from Bucket TV that gives you the live streaming, 89.5 on the FM dial. Polynesian Media, who handles all our stuff into the TV stations in New Zealand. And Peter Winchester, who's always on board from Hutt City Radio in Wellington. He moves in, up it goes. Oh, it's a shocker. So it's 4-0, but he's a very proud man, Gabby, and he'll improve off that. He's got his head down, and you know he'll bounce back because he is a good footballer. So it's 4-0. The Panthers are in front. And it's up to the Eels to stay in touch with them early. They've had no ball either. So here we go. The good thing is the referees told them to stay on side. High kick, been well picked up. And here comes the forwards out to the 25-metre mark. Good run, solid defence. It's tackle one. Slow play the ball. That was Tom. Here we go again. Here we go up the middle. 40 metres out. They keep playing the short side. The Panthers got the ball out wide. Here's trouble coming up. Oh, 30 metres out. They need a quick play to ball. They got a couple of tackles up their sleeve, the Panthers. This is when they're lethal. Run into the middle. Got the ball away to Neville Nobody. It's Tainer Savage. And he's off. He had a great ball. Bounced him off. And there's a big run down the middle. He's going to get in here. He's going to get in, and they're over. The Panthers are in. Great try, great run. And this is the Panthers that we want to see. I think they were shocked last week. But that's 8-0. But the Eels will come back. You know they will. They always do. It's 8-0. And see what's going to happen. Beautiful afternoon in sunny downtown Rarotonga. A lot of cloud above, but not bad for an autumn day. So I know places in Australia and New Zealand they have their raincoats and overcoats on, but here it's not a bad afternoon. And you'll get another good shot of his kick. The last one was a shocker. But Gabby will improve off that because he's a very proud footballer, a very quiet man, but he lets his game do his talking for him. But we're in for a good couple of weeks of rugby league here in Rarotonga with our competition, because our standard, we haven't got a lot of people here, but our standard's very high with these two teams. And they pride themselves on their game, the villagers and the players. I'm not going to say anything about the kicking. I'm just going to let it do its own talking. That's better. Oh, it's hit the goal post, but it was never going to go over. So it's 8-0, and that is a shocker. They've got a couple of good kickers in their team. So they've got Folletti and they've got Tainer Savage. So if Gabby's not confident, they've got juniors. So they've got 3 other kickers. But it's a big pressure day today because they got beat last week and they were shell-shocked. The coach is down there. Darren, he don't say too much. And here we go. Up they come. Here comes the Panthers. Great defence from the Eels. 25 metres out, trying to hold him down. And the dummy half's off. Nobody with him, but they got hold of him. Great run. Great run. And that's Big Tool who got hold of him. And here they go. Here's a big run from C. There's a great pass from CO. They're 40 metres out. And they're trying to play this upbeat game that the Panthers are good at. It's a bounce ball. Up. Oh, good defence. 40 metres out. Out they come. They're all running. So we're going to have a change over. You can hear the call. D up, D up. So we're 35 metres out from the Eels try line. There's an injury from the Panthers. It's virtually the same 2 teams as played last week. Just a bit of tinkering here and there. They told me Panishi wasn't going to be playing because he's got a badly broken nose, but he's got number 2 on his back, and he's on the wing because he's just a match winner. It's getting cold, there's a wind blowing. It's funny, the trees aren't moving, but there's a strong wind blowing, but we're in a valley. While this player's been attended to, the referee's called time off. And Lay's coming on for the Eels. No, he's back off. And he's a player I want to see on the field because he is a personality player. Got a scrum going down, 35 metres out from the Eels try line. Eels ball, here comes Mafu out wide. This is to Sai Nagi, the big Fijian, 30 metres out. Here we go. Good run, 40 metres out. The Panther forwards have been tremendous lately. There's a big run just over the halfway line. And that was big Sai Nagi again. This is young Josh Caffery, 40 metres out. And he's calling, the referee's calling the tackles. And here comes the big men, big run, looking for somebody to pass the ball to, but there's nobody there. Final tackle coming up. They're going to run the ball, see inside kick. Then they block Mafu, which was a smart move, and he's made a mess of it. And he's recovered it, so we're going to have a goal line dropout. That was a bit of luck for the Panthers because he originally missed it, but he's recovered it. But Mafu was going to chase that ball, and a bloke got in his way, which probably is illegal, but it was all right. And I think that's what they've got to do. They've got to try and slow up Mafu because he basically won the game for him last week. He just controlled the game totally and completely. And long drop out. He's tried to trap it with his foot and he's hit it back and he's going to rule it as a knock on, and fair enough. Fair enough. But I had a talk with Mafu before the game, and the people in New Guinea will know it. He was over there behind. We got a big tree down the back of it and he was talking to it. And he said he was praying, and this is what they do in New Guinea. They're very culturally strong. And now he's into halfback, so he's a personality player. So it's a quick ball out. See, then when the ball come out, the Panthers went to the right. Mafu was going to chase it and somebody grabbed him by the jumper because they're just trying to keep him out of a game. And these three New Guinea guys have been a tremendous asset for the Panthers, and they're happy to have them here today. Here's a big run, 30 metres out from the Panthers. You see the Panthers are setting themselves up here. They've got players on both sides. They can go either way. Come to the left, out wide, dummy, back into the forwards, turning and spinning 30 metres out. Tulu's the tackler. Long ball, kick down into the corner. Been shepherded over the dead ball line, so it's going to come back to the 25 metre. It's a tap, and he's looking for a runner. And here comes big Tavita, and he's a big man and big run, good tackle to bring him down. He's trying to milk a penalty, but the ref won't give him. We don't give him anymore. Big run just short of a halfway line. Slow play the ball. And the Eels are running one out. That's what the Panthers want. They can handle that. He's off the mark. The ref says go back, play the ball again. That's a bit of push and shove. There's no love lost between these two teams. So it's 8-0. 8-0 the score. And here goes the kick. It's up in the air. It's anybody's ball. Been well handled by the Panthers. So it's a Panther ball. That was a waste of time. They kicked Navy chases the dummy halves off. They got hold of him 40 metres out. They're just a little bit gun shy at the moment. Avatiu, they don't know what to do. They're on the halfway line. The Panthers know how to win this game. They just got to get the ball out wide. There's a big run into the forwards, 40 metres out. The Panthers are trying to break his leg. Slow play the ball. But it's funny, it's 8-0. A little kick over the top. They're onto it. And, oh, he's missed it. He nearly had it, and it's change over, Eels ball. The Panthers followed that through, but they just couldn't get a hold of it. But it's 8-0. It's all Panthers, and all we got to do is get the Eels to score, and the game's on. It's going to be on for the whole 80 minutes. So it's the Panther ball. They're hungry. Oh, big tackle. Big tackle. On the halfway line. Panthers are doing all right at the moment. And that was young Josh Caffrey. Here's a high ball. Let it bounce. Got away with it. They're still going. They got him on the 25 metre mark. The dummy half's going to run. You can see it from here. And he's off. He's off. CO's big run. He's made 10 hard yards. And he's one of their real stars, that man. And here comes the big men again. 40 metres out, the Panthers. They're looking good. There's a long way to go, and they're pushing and shoving. Come to the blind. Still going. Still going. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This man does not know how not to run fast. That's CO. ho, ho, ho. Last tackle coming up. The Panthers are complaining about the tackle, but the ref's not going to worry about it. High kick down the back. Going to bounce around. Mafu's got hold of it. See what he can do. Little double jump, but they got hold of him. They know they got to get him. He's been held. There's 3 Panthers in the tackle. They're not going to let him run the game like he did last week. Ho, ho, ho. Good defence. And the good defence. But the Eels have just gone back to the old basics, running one out, and the Panthers can handle that. They're on the halfway line. He's lost the ball. And that's what happens if you gang tackle. When you hit them hard, the ball will come loose. And the referee's having a good game so far. No controversy. And you know the game's going all right because the referee's not having any problems with the players. The players are accepting what's going on. So it's 8-0. 8-0. And we're on the halfway mark, and we're probably halfway through the first half. The lock's going to run the ball. He's got it. He's out wide. Here they go again. He's the big forward. That looks like Tom. He's lost the ball. Tom's complaining. But you got to take the good with the bad. He's lost the ball in the tackle. So it's going to be a Panther, Eels ball right on the halfway line. I'm sorry. I see too much football. But the Eels have got to get this ball and try and do something because at the moment they're struggling. The ball's in, the ball's out. He thought the lock was going to pick it up, but the lock didn't pick it up. They're just not going anywhere, the Eels at the moment. And the Panthers are dominating at the moment. 40 metres out from their own try line, little short passes. Oh, like the Panthers are into it. Last week their forwards were terrific. That's Big Eric. Look at this, they're into it, the Panthers. They deserve their lead. They've been the better team and they've really got the Eels baffled at the moment. Look, they're into it. And big hit, knocking them down. It's all Panthers at the moment. And here they go. Big run down the middle, but they got hold of him. 25 metres out. And this is the 6th tackle coming up. And he's put it down and he's going to call a knock on. And the Eels are rattled at the moment. The referee's called timeout, another injury. But while this is going on, I just want to thank our sponsors who've been with us all the time, and especially Malcolm Swords, Cook Island General Transport. Thank you, Malcolm. Dave from Bucket TV's all obviously does the live stream, and it's coming out. We're getting good messages from all over the Pacific. We got 89.5 on the FM dial here. If you ever hear, you can listen to our radio station. And we got Don Carlaw from Raro Cars. He supports the competition in general. We got Polynesian Media who looks after our content that goes into New Zealand. And I know you people in New Zealand are watching it. And it goes right through the Pacific. And it goes out to all the islands. And these guys, we got all the islands represented here. And they all say to me, our families are watching the football, and it's something they couldn't do before because we didn't have live streaming. But if you're in Fiji or Samoa or Tonga or anywhere, Australia, New Zealand, you can see your blood running around. And we got an injury here. It looks like it's Gabby. Looks like he's injured his hand. It's a scrum. It's a Panther ball, and he's been brought down. Looks like it might be a wrist or an arm injury. And that's a big loss because that is Gabby. But they can cover it up easy enough. So we're on the halfway line. And here comes these Penrith forwards. They've been the unsung heroes and they've got them offside. So we've got a penalty going to the Panthers right on the halfway line. Time off. He's going to call the captain out, have a little bit of a chat to him. Because there's frustration. The Eels, it's just not working for them at the moment. And Tua Lua, he's a very capable referee, and the way he's going, he could be our grand final referee, unless we, of course, bring the girl over from New Zealand, who's just an outstanding referee. Rochelle, and I can't remember her surname, but she's been here for the last couple of years and done a terrific job. So we've got a penalty going to the Panthers right on the halfway mark. And he's kicking out here towards the stand because the wind's blowing this way at the moment. The ball's up in the air and it's gone out. It's been a big effort, but it's gone out. He's complaining, but he caught it outside the field. It's Mafu. But he don't complain, he just gets back into position. So we've got a scrum going now. 30 metres out from the Eels try line. And it's a Panthers scrum and feed. So here we go. Ball's in, the ball. Oh, they're all offside, ref. So I don't know what he's going to do. He's probably going to reset the scrum, because it didn't come out when they wanted it, and they're all offside, the Eels. Good call from the referee, telling them to stay on side this time until the ball's out. And it's funny, the Panthers lock wasn't even packed into the scrum. Oh, nearly got through CO, but he's been just brought down. They're 20 metres out, and the Panthers are on the attack, just short of a try line, 5 metres out. Got a couple of tackles up their sleeve. Let's hope they get the ball out. It's a big run from one of the forwards, but I hope they get the ball out. They've got 100 men out here to the left. All they got to do is get the ball out, let them run with the ball. Ball's inside, back outside, turning and spinning. And that's Tom's big move, so you know that's Tom. And that's Tainer Savage running sideways. And I think, oh, they're over, been held up and pushed back. And there's a penalty to the Panthers. It's all going the Panthers' way, offside. The Eels are shell-shocked at the moment, but it's only 8-0 and they're still in the game. And that's the beauty of rugby league. You can be dominant and you can be out of a game, but if the Eels can be next to score, it's game on. So we've got a tap on the 25-metre mark. One of the big forwards are going to run the ball up, turning and spinning, but he's been held up. Pushed back, lost the ball, so he'll play a knock on. Another penalty raked out. Play the ball, he says. The Eels are desperate. The Eels are desperate. 10 metres out. Out wide. Lucky to pick it up. Kick over the top for the winger. He's flying. He's put it down, and that looks like Panisi. He just couldn't get his hands to it. So it's going to be a 25 tap. And here comes the big forward. And the ref says, go back. That was Tavita. You know Tavita, he's a left-hander, and he was through. And it was going to be a big job for the fullback to tackle him. So the fullback's saying, well, I'm glad he called that back. That's a different scenario. They're still on the 25-metre mark. Tackle one. The Panthers are really playing good and well in the forwards. And that looks like Lay. He must be on the field now. You see he's a real goose stepper. 40 metres out from their own try line. And he's through, but they've got him by the arm. Big run. 30 metres out from the Panthers try line. This is what I mean about he's off. Oh, they're calling for offside, and he dropped the ball and he's ruled a knock on. But the Panther man was off. But you're always going to have controversy in these games because it's so close. And they're bringing the big player from last week, number 18, the Panthers. And his name is Morona Ioane. And he had a tremendous game last week. He's a big man. A very powerful runner with the ball. So they're going to obviously try and use him. And here we go. He's a good run around. Oh, they got hold of him. Tried to sidestep them all, but they got hold of him. Straight through into the forwards, but the Panthers are on the go. Oh, got the ball away. But the Eels are really starting to match up here. Oh, and they put the ball down. A bit of luck for the Eels. It's on the halfway line. There's going to be a scrum to the Eels. Some of the vocal. Oh. There's a bit of a complaint from some of the crowd. But he's ruled the Panthers scrum and feed. Don't know how he's come up with that. It was put down by the Panthers. All the luck's going to the Panthers' way at the moment. Out wide. Oh, got away with it. Bounce ball. Here's trouble. He's put the kick in. They've come up with the ball, the Eels, and they got out to the 40-metre mark. And the Eels aren't dead yet. There's a lot of, he's put the ball down. Great tackle. And the people are clapping over here because they're all Panthers supporters. So it's on the 40-metre mark. We're going to have another scrum. The Eels have had no luck today. Last week they had all the luck in the world and they got away with a win, but at the moment it's 8-0. And it's been just 2 bits of brilliance from the Panthers, but there's nothing in this game. I hope the pitch is coming up all right. And it's Tainer Savage throws his dummy. Oh, that's still, he's going to play on. That's what I mean about luck. I don't understand, but I don't question the referee because he's doing a good job, this boy. But that's a lot of luck going the Panthers' way. And here, oh, they're trying to bust up the forwards, the Panthers. Morona wants the ball, giving the ball, the big man. They've gone to the side. There's trouble. They've lost the ball. The Eels have come up with it. The Eels are hanging in there. 30 metres out, the Eels. There's Lay. He's always got a goose step to start up. He's a hard man. Gosh, he's a hard runner, that man. 40 metres out. Oh, they've hit him with rockets. He got the ball out wide. That's Josh. The Panthers are defending like there's no tomorrow. And that is silly football. That's Tom. No, I don't think it's Tom. I think it's the new boy in the, oh, he's not a new fella. Jeremy. He wears the headgear also. There's the Eels, big chance. Here comes Tavita. He's into him. Great runner with the ball, this man. Lost it. Not having any luck at all, the Eels. 25 metres out, 8-0. It's getting cold and dark. Beautiful afternoon for rugby league. And the live stream, I'm looking at it, it's coming over really well. So I hope you're enjoying it. And everybody's waiting for these Panthers to break out and score one of those. They've scored a lot of tries this year. 25 metres out, tackle one. Out they come. The Eels, they're just trying to get away, but the Eels have got hold of them. Quick play the ball, the dummy half's off. And here's a bit of trouble. They got hold, he's still going. 40 metres out from the Eels try line. Still going, 30 metres out. Being held down. They want a quick play the ball, the Panthers. And out they come. Pulling and shoving. The referee's letting it go on. He should yell, be calling held. Here comes the Panthers. They're playing the speed men. That's CO. You know him, he's gone to the blind side. There's a bit of a chance here, kick into the corner, but it's like too hard by 4. But it's the Eels ball and they're just hanging in there. It's 8-0. 30 metres out, tackle one. And here we go. Oh. These Panther forwards are doing a terrific job in defence, and they'll keep doing it for the 80 minutes. Inside ball, big Tulu, and they're at him, and they're pushed him back. He's got the ball away. Here's the little PNG guy, big run, 40 metres out. They brought him down. That's Lay. Oh, he says, I'm coming up through the forwards, over the halfway mark. Oh, beautiful pass, but they got hold of him. That looks like Tainer Savage was the tackler. Last tackle coming up. They're obviously going to put that up high. There's a little kick over the top. Been well picked up. Well defended by the Eels. The call's coming from the supporters of the Eels to D up. The dummy half's off. The Eels are doing all right here. They're 30 metres out. They're slowing the Panthers up, which is what you got to do. Great defence from the Eels. Slow play the ball, and that's all the things you got to do to knock these Panthers around. That's Big Morona. And he should get back a little bit further and try and run under the ball, because you can't have a standing start like that. And that bloke from the Eels is 100 metres offside, been knocked down. And he's not very happy, because if he had had a clean grab at that, he was under the post. It's been an interesting afternoon of football. It's 8-0. We're 35 metres out from the Panthers try line. And we've got a scrum going down. There's a Eels player being taken off. And I haven't got a team sheet for the Eels, never get one, so, and I don't know the guy that's come on, so we'll just see what's going to happen here. Looks like he's going back on. Two, 5, 6, 7, 13. They've still got the right number there. The Eels are on red alert as soon as these Fijians get the ball, like this fella. They're flat out as soon as they take their first stride, these guys. Very quick. 40 metres out, 30 metres out. The Panthers got plenty of tackles up their sleeve. Oh, good defence. Over the top, and that slowed him up. Here they go again, the Panthers. And they're going to bust they're going to bust them. That's a bit high. It's a bit high. He's not going to put up with this. He's told them, high shots, you're going to be in trouble. He's asking the linesman, what do you think? And that's Bob Tarapo. If you know Bob, that's him. There's a shoulder in the tackle. He's saying, next one you're going to be off. He says, go back. Will you be on the naughty chair very shortly? I think they'll kick for goal here. One thing about, they're not going to kick for goal. That's the right decision, but they're going to take the tap and try and run the try in. Here comes the big man. Tackle 6 metres out from the Eels try line. Gone to the right. Just short of a try line. That's tackle 2. Very hard to bust the Eels on their try line. A couple of cut-out passes, and the Eels are doing all right on their defence. This is what you got to do, run the ball, and he's lost the ball. Good defence from the Eels. So it's a changeover, 10 metres out. Now the call from the Panthers is D up. So it looks like we're going to have a scrum, 20 metres out, 15 metres out from the Eels try line, and they're hanging in there. And that's what the Eels are good at. They've been totally outclassed in the first half, but they're not far away. And here we go, the big man, it's Big Si. He's a great footballer when he gets going. Quick play the ball, and here's trouble. Oh, they got hold of him. He was off. 30 metres out. They've done their homework. Oh, big defence from the Panthers. But they've done their homework. They know what they've done wrong, the Panthers from last week. And he goes lay, but they got hold of him. He's 40 metres out from their own try line. And as I said last week, the Panthers and their unsung heroes have been there. They've been their forwards. And here comes this fullback. And he's 15 metres out from his own try line. The dummy half's got to run because there's nobody with him, and that's Panisi. And I know he didn't want to play, but I think they've made him play. And they're all offside. And that's just a penalty, but the player forced on the Eels. He runs straight into him. So that's a relieving penalty from the Panthers. They're under a bit of pressure there. So it's going to be on the halfway mark. It's been an intriguing game, and as you know what I say, this game's going to be won in the second half. It's 8-0. Unless something dramatic happens, that's going to be our score into halfway. And the Eels have only just got to be next to score and game on. And they got the Panthers running one out, which is not their go. And that's not how they're going to win this game. There's another one out run. The Eels can handle this all day. 30 metres out. They've got to get the ball out and try and run some plays. It's a beautiful ball, and that's a great hit. He's made the ball's come out. So the Eels have come up with their ball 30 metres out, and there's halfway. They've got to get hold of him. And there's a kick over the top. What's the referee going to rule? That's Tavida. And that's halfway, half-time. And we'll be back shortly. A little bit of confusion from everybody there. There was panic stations from both teams. But 8-0 at half-time. We'll be back shortly for the second half. Muff, who's having a little talk to the referee about that little bit of play there. But I think eventually the referee got it right. One of the linesmen's waving his flag around. I don't know if he's trying to single somebody in the stand, or he wants a new referee or a new linesman, or something's going on. But it's been an intriguing game between 1 and 2, and there's not much between these two teams. Bob Tarapo's got the whoops and he's walking out, and he's Avatiu's #1 supporter. And I think the linesman might have been getting a little bit irate with what he was saying, but I hope not, because Bob's a character. But the game is there to be won, and hopefully the game will open up in the second half. But both these teams, winner or loser, one will go into the grand final and the other one will play next week in the final. But these two teams, in my opinion, will meet in the grand final anyway, because they're just far superior than our other teams. And I hope I'm not putting a knock on Arangi Bears, but these two teams have been terrific this year. As I said, the Panthers, I think their 4 is 433, and the Eels are next best in low 300s, and you can see the difference in the teams. But they've had some big wins, the Panthers, like 80 and 90 points on the bad teams, and that's not good for rugby league, but it's good for our better teams, which are these two on the field. But things are going good, and it's looking pretty good. It's overcast, it's cloudy, and I think we're going to get away with it. But I'll tell you now, it's going to be raining in the island this afternoon or tonight, and it's cold, and we got jumpers on here, and that's not often you see that in Paradise. A lot of coats, a lot of hoodies, but it's Paradise. And this is our national stadium, and it's a credit to the groundsmen. They've got this ground looking perfect for the football. So the referee's talking to the linesman down there. The Panthers coach is talking to his players. He's in the middle. Darren Perry. The Eels are on the left. And they got 3 coaches. They got Clive Nicholas and his 2 assistants, his brother Albert and Meti Nuve. And they'll be saying, hey, we're doing all right, hang in there. But it's just going to be a little bit of luck that's going to win this game. And it's 8-0. And while before this game starts, I just want to thank our sponsors, which is Cook Island General Transport, Bucket TV, 89.5 on the FM dial, Vodafone, who's supplying our internet needs, and it just goes on. Polynesian Media does it all into New Zealand for us, and that's our sponsors for the day. So let's hope this opens up a little bit, this game, and see what's going to happen. So Tom, the captain of the Panthers, is up talking to the referee on the halfway mark, just querying something. Tom's a good bloke. He's very polite, and he would address it the right way. And the referee's talking to both of them. It's probably some of the high shots. The referee's doing all right. The important thing with a referee is to have the respect of the players, and if you got the respect from the players, the game will be all right. So the referee's saying, let's go. Eels kick off, wobbly old kick, which is good because there's a chance you can knock it on. And the Panthers are going to run the ball. And the Eels are up for this. That's great defence. Four players in the tackle, knocked him down. And here's the Panthers running one out, and that's not their go. So they've got to start running in pairs and see how it all turns out. Here comes another big Panther, and he's only on the 30-metre mark, and the Eels are doing all right so far. Now they're going to go out wide, and they should have went out wide early. This is where they're dangerous. They're up to the halfway mark, been pushed back. He's lost the ball, and they've forced an error here, the Eels. So it's 45 metres out from the Panthers try line. Scrum and feed to the Eels. And this is the break the Eels need. They might be able to get away with something here and get into this game. It's only 8-0. And they just need a little bit of luck. They're not hanging onto the ball. They've had no luck with the calls. And they just need a little bit of luck to go their way. And out, Josh has got the ball out from the scrum. He goes lay. Then he's just down the middle, this man. But the beauty of these two teams, they both know each other's strengths. And his big, that looks like Sinagi, and they've got hold of him. And that's tackle 2, he's 40 metres out. They're going to run the big forward. Oh, head down and charging in. 30 metres out. He goes lay again. And he's a competitor, that man. And that's probably 4th tackle, I'd say. Out they go, out wide. Out wide. The Panthers have got it all covered up at the moment. Now they come back on the inside, the Eels. And that looks like Tavita because he's running with the ball in his left hand. That's the last tackle coming up. And here we go. The kick down the back, been picked up. The little kick has been picked up. The Panthers ball 10 metres out. And it's funny, they're all in front of a kicker, and I thought you had to be 10 metres from the kicker, from the bloke who picks it up. But there's a rule that's just gone by to buy here. This is just going to be a slugfest, this one. 25 metres out. The Eels are trying to hold the Panthers down. Good defence. They're only making 5-6 metres with these runs. Now they're gone out wide. There's a kick because the fullback wasn't in there. Mafu's off it, after it. It's going to go down, down, down. He's hoping for it to go dead. And that's a good decision. He let it go. But the Eels are slow getting back on side. And the Panthers are ready to go. And if that's the state of the game, the Eels are up for it. And the Panthers. But the Eels have got to start playing some football to beat this team. It's 8-0. But the Panthers have been playing really good football at the moment. And you're not going to, it's funny, you're not going to beat the Panthers running one out. You're not going to beat the Eels running one out. Here comes a big man. Oh, oh, oh. Good defence, good run. Slow play the ball. 30 on the halfway mark. But it's a slugfest, this one. Pushing and shoving. Pushing and shoving. No harm done. They're just over the halfway line, 40 metres out from the Panthers try line. And there's a kick over the top. It's gone out on the full. So bring the ball back. But the Eels are not making very good decisions here at the moment. So it's 40 metres out from the Panthers try line. Change over. And look at this, just one out. Big run over the half, up to the halfway mark. But it's not doing any good because you got to run in pairs. There's another big run. He's made 10 metres, but it's one out. You got all the, come here, they said. Great defence from the Eels. 30 metres out. And they've got the ball out wide. It's intercepted. Pass inside. Been knocked on by the Eels. Knock on. They thought it might be play on, but he's knocked it on. It's gone forward. So it's on the halfway line. The Eels are slow to react. Not a good sign. The referee waves time on. We've got a scrum just short of a halfway line on the Panthers side. In, it's out, Panthers ball. Onto the halfway mark, 1 out run. Slow play the ball. Oh, good defence from the Eels. But he's made 15 metres. And it's a lot of metres to make against a good team. And that's Tom doing his swivel and turning around. And they're 25, 30 metres out. The Panthers got a couple of tackles up their sleeve. They've got all these brilliant players. They've got to put passes together. Oh. The Eels are up to it. 20 metres out. Slow play the ball. Up they come. Got the ball away. Lucky to get away with a pass. 15 metres out. Last tackle coming up. What are they going to do? They've come to the right. Little kick over the top. Oh, he's gone up for it. He's caught it and lost it forward. There's a planned move, but never caught it. And the referee says play on. And here's the Eels, big chance. They've got hold of him. No, they haven't. There's nobody with him, so it's all 1 out. Slow play the ball. It's another PNG guy. And he's over the halfway mark and he's through, he's off. But the speed from the Panthers have got hold of him. The crowd's complaining, but it's play on. The Eels have suddenly got a burst of life here. They're 30 metres out. Here goes the big man. And that looks like Lay, and he's lost the ball. Oh, they're killing themselves, the Eels. That's their best passage of play, and they've knocked the ball on. So we're down to a scrum. They're on the 20 metre, 25 metre mark. It looks like it's going to be a Panthers ball. But the Eels are just killing themselves at the moment. If they can get their game together, they can get really well into this game. Oh, the lock was off. But you always look good when everybody stops. So he wants it to reform the scrum. The ball's going to go in and the lock's going to pick it up. Is he going to do the same thing? Yes, here he goes. Same move. So the referee says held 1. Here we go. At least the Eels have got the Panthers running 1 out, which is what they want them to do. They don't want them to put passes together. And here's another 1 out run. 40 metres out. And it's just a battle. There's a kick, but nobody's chasing it. Great kick. Great kick. 25 metres out. But there was no Panthers kicking, chasing the kick. Must have been a 40-20. And we don't often see them in this game. But obviously it's a 40-20. So it's a Panther ball. Oh, good defence from the Eels. Oh, come here, they said. Good, this is good football. He got it out, but there's Eels everywhere over there. The Eels' online defence is always good. But they've got to run the ball out wide and give some of these. They've gone to the left. That's a crossover. A bit of luck for the Eels. 25 metres out. And here goes Lay. He says, I'm going to have a go, but he can't run 75 metres, so somebody's got to go with him if he makes the break. Here comes another forward. Oh, big run. 40 metres out. Here goes another big run down the middle, and they're on the halfway mark. It's all one out stuff. Here they come again. There's a big Tulu. Big run. It's 4 big runs down the middle. They've made 50 metres. But you've got to be able to pass the ball. That's how you score the tries. There's another big run from Lay, and he's brought down. Last tackle coming up. They're on the 30-metre mark, and they've thrown dummies. He's through. He's got the ball away, and it's a forward pass. Forward pass. And it was a genuine forward pass, and the referees picked it up, and it's unlucky for the Eels because they were into the corner. Looks like Johnny Penu. That's all it's going to be. That sort of thing that's going to break this game up because it's 8-0. And the Panthers are lucky to get away with their teeth there. It's an intriguing game, this one. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm looking at the live stream. It's coming over well. So you should be getting a good picture wherever you're watching it from. And the referee says, come on, let's play football. 10 metres out from the Panthers try line, off the forward pass. So here we go. One out, 25 metres out. The dummy half's off. Great run, but they're not going to get anywhere. Big run. But you've got to be able to put some passes together. The dummy half's off again. And the Eels are handling this, same as the Panthers do. They're on the halfway mark. The dummy half's off again. And he's thrown a couple of dummies, and I fell for one of them. So they're 35 metres out for the from the Eels try line. Now they're going to their men, but there's plenty of Eels out there. Last tackle coming up, 30 metres out. And there's not much they can do. The dummy half's off. He's thrown a silly ball out wide. And the Panthers are rattled. They put it up in the middle, and it's been caught. And here's trouble. They got hold of him 15 metres out. Quick play the ball from the Eels. And here's the man. He's off. Great run. He's down to the 40-metre mark. But it's all one out stuff. And that's not how you're going to win this game. There's Lay's lost the ball. And they've got Sy, and that's a forward pass. But nobody's in position to call it. They've lost it again. Hey, there's a penalty. No, he's... That looks like Panisi. Great run. And it's livening up a bit this game. And they're pushing and shoving. And the Eels are into this, 10 metres out, holding the Panther down, but I think he's injured. And they've come up with the ball, the Eels, but I think the referee will say time out, have a break, and it'll be Panthers play the ball. Oh, he's ruled, lost ball, so it's going to be a scrum. 10 metres out, Eels scrum and feed. It's 8-0. It's been that, and the Panthers scored 2 very quick tries early in the game, and nothing else has happened. And they've got the ball out wide. The Panthers are coming across. And here comes another forward. He's been knocked over. Lost the ball. And boy, they're having no luck. The Eels. Little mistakes are knocking them around. And the Eels are making a replacement. Well, I thought they were. So it's 25 metres out at Panthers scrum and feed. And they've got to put some passes together, either one of these teams, and they can get away with this game. It's just been a desperate knock them down and drag them out play. And that looks like Mr. Caffrey going back on. He's a good footballer, this young fella. Got a bad knee and he's had it for years, and there's nobody over here that can fix you up with that sort of thing. You just got to put up with it. They go to New Zealand. We can get there. Here's a big run. He's in the corner. There's a big run. And you don't have to know who it was. Yeah, the Fijian racehorse. As I say, you don't have to know who it was because we know who it was. And that's his signature try. So that's 4 points to the Panthers. 4 points to the Panthers. And I've been waiting for him to do that. And he told me earlier he wasn't going to play. He's got a badly broken nose, but they've told him he's got to play. And he's a great footballer, that man. That's his first break. That's his first chance to get away from him, and they just laid off him a little bit. And you can't do that to the racehorse. And he thinks it's good that I call him the Fijian racehorse. So that's 12-0, three tries to nil. Oh, and that's Folletti, and that was a shocker. But it's 12-0, but the Eels are still in this game. They just got to be next to score. And I know Aorangi's all stayed here to watch this game to see who they're going to play next week. They're all down on the fence watching the game. So this is the Eels kicking off. They just need a bit of luck, the Eels, to get back into this game. But if they don't, it could be a shutout. But they haven't played well. They've dropped a lot of ball. They've lost a lot of ball. And they've had no luck. And that looks like Big Eric's got the ball, 30 metres out, tackle one. And the good thing with our players, they make sure they secure the ball from the kick-off, and then they go from there. That's Tom had the ball. There's another big run down the middle. I don't know if this is Darren's tactics or not, but I'm sure he'd like the forwards to run in pairs. That's good defence from the Eels. Just short of a halfway line, the Panthers. Oh, come here, they said. And he's lost the ball. And it's going to be, that's the good thing. They help each other up, and that was the big tackle from Logan Peronisi. So just short of a halfway line. It's going to be an Eels scrum and feed. And let's hope they can hang on to the ball and get down there towards the other end of the game, or the other end of the field. They've got to be next to score, the Eels, to get into this game. It's in, out, it's in, it's out. Nearly dropped it. It's big Si, but Si's not the player he was of a few years ago. He would have carved them up in those days. Slow play the ball. There's a short ball, but the Panthers were waiting for it. The Panther forwards have been terrific last week and this week. And there's another big hit. And there he goes again. Gosh, he's a hard try of that man. Slow getting up. The Panthers are doing all right here. The Eels are battling away. Here's another big run. Last tackle coming up. And they're probably going to put the ball in the air, and they need a little bit of luck. They're going to run it. They're going to run it. They're going to run it. And they've lost it. Oh, they nearly got away again, the Panthers. And he's lost the ball. Gosh, there's been a lot of lost ball. But I just put it down to the pressure on the game. But it's 12-0. And it's an Eels scrum and feed, 20 metres out. And the Eels have got to come away with some points somehow. 12-0, it's just too far away, getting deep into the second half. Out it comes. Turn it back inside. Here goes Big Si, and this is his, they got hold of him. Great covering tackle. That was from Tom. Here's a big run. Oh, great hit. Great hit from the Panthers. They got numbers here, the Eels. Got numbers going around the corner. Good defence from the Panthers. It's been a very good defensive game, this one. They're gonna, and he's lost the ball. Oh, gosh. They've shot themselves in the foot again, the Eels. Had no luck. So we've got a scrum going down 10 metres out from the Panthers try line. The referee's called time out for an injury. So we're going to go back to the original call. So we've got a scrum going down. The referee's called time on. It's a Panthers scrum and feed. Out it comes. Oh, good defence. Tackle one. Oh, here we go, big hop, step and jump, trying to get away, but they got hold of him, and there's a penalty, and that's Lay. That's Lay's signature tackle. Bang over the top, and he's lucky to get away with it. Of course, under normal circumstances, that might have been on the naughty chair. So penalty to the Panthers. And the Eels have shot themselves in the other foot. Ten minutes to go. But I think the Panthers are going to get away with this. That's Tua. He's been very quiet lately, and he's lost the ball. He's lost the ball, but the referee says stolen. And as I say, the Eels have not done themselves any favours today. They've gone from a penalty down here, and now another penalty, and here's the Panthers right on their doorstep. And it's just through two piggyback penalties. And now they're going to have to hold the Panthers out again, and he'll run it to her. He don't know anything else. He's been brought down 4 or 5 metres out from the try line. Quick play the ball. They're going to go out wide. They're running the ball out wide. The Eels have got it covered up. But when you put pressure on yourself, it's not the right thing to do. They're trying to get a bloke coming on the inside. It's been a good tackle, brought him down right on the try line. Slow play the ball. Slow motion football. Out it comes. They're going to run it out wide. Back on the left. They got hold of him by the jumper, pulled him down 25 metres out. And the dummy half's off. He's off, he's off, he's off, he's off, he's off, but short, just short of a try line. Lucky the Eels there, just grabbed him right on the try line. And the dummy half's put the ball out and it's been knocked on. It's play on, it's the Eels ball. And they need some help here. He can't run that fast. They got hold of him. Gone inside, good football, forward pass. Forward pass. Forward pass. And the crowd goes wild. The crowd goes wild. Definite forward pass. The Eels are complaining, but sorry. It was a forward pass. And the referee was up with it. And that sums up the Eels' day. 12-0. 12-0. We're probably in the last 5 minutes. We've got a rabid Eels supporter behind me and he's got no idea what he's talking about. But the referees had a good game. And the Eels have only got themselves to blame because they've beaten themselves. There's been a close contest and I'm sure these two teams will be playing together in the grand final in a fortnight's time. Josh Caffrey's been replaced. It's a Panthers ball. (25-30 metres out from the Panthers try line. Ball's out. It's out to the winger. We got another commentator doing his own version of the game and he's wrong. They're 35 metres out from the Panthers try line. And the good part of this game, we got controversial referees, all know the rules, and there's a lot knock on. And the Panthers saying it come off his foot, but it's come off his hand. And there's a dead player on the field over there. Another Panthers down. But we're into the last 5 minutes. It's been an interesting game of football. Not exciting. I thought it'd be better than this. But it's been a solid game. And next week it'll be Ararangi and the Eels playing for a spot in the grand final. There's Tavita running sideways, which he does all the time. And he's got the ball away. And here's trouble. The Panthers have got hold of him. 30 metres out from their try line. Quick play the ball. And they've got to get the ball out wide. The Eels running one out. It's not going to do anything. The Panthers' defence has been solid. Here's a big run down the middle and he's close, but not close enough. Pull down right on the try line. The Eels are attacking. And he's tried to go over from dummy half. And he's ruled a try. So it's 4 points to the Eels.
And the Eels finally on the board.
So that's 12-4. So we're going to have a dramatic last couple of minutes. And Dave's doing exercises. I don't know what's wrong. It must be his camera arm. He's been looking at the referees, doing their warm-ups. It's been an interesting afternoon in sunny downtown Rarotonga. And this has got to go over and it'll be 12-6. And the interesting situation is if the Eels can score again, what happens if it's 12 all at full time and it's over? So it's 12-6. And we've got a few minutes to go. So the Panthers are smart. They're taking their time, but the referee will call time off if they don't hurry up. That's the slowest I've ever seen a team come out from their in goal to the halfway mark. It's wasted probably a minute or so, and times against the Eels. So the Panthers are going to look for a mistake. It's a wobbly old ball. It's been well caught. And here goes Lay again. He don't know anything else but bang into him. They've got hold of him. It's tackle one. Now the Eels are going to run the ball. The Panthers' defence has been really good today, except for that last lapse. There goes another big Eels man up the middle, but it's one out, 40 metres out from their own try line, trying to milk a penalty, but they don't give them any more. There's on the halfway line, a couple of tackles up their sleeve. They just need a bit of luck, the Eels here. 40 metres out. And here we go, the up and under, they're all in front of the kicker. And they've let it bounce the Panthers. He's offside, ref. He's offside. That's terrible. They're in front of the kicker. He's offside. And I knew that ruling was going to haunt somebody, but you've got to stay outside the man who's going to receive the ball. You can't take the ball. We're just going to have a new commentator.
That takes the Panthers to 14, Eels 6. That's a good conversion from the Panthers, 16-6. a good conversion from Felipe. Takes the Panthers further into the lead, 18 points to 6. Can you just ask if we can pick up your rubbish where you're sitting, please? There's the bins over here, help us clean up. And see you back here next week. Just waiting for the conversion. Thank you for all the clubs. Oh, that's a good conversion. Final score 18 to 12 to the Panthers. So Panthers go straight to the grand final, and the Eels will be playing the Bears next week for the last finals. So thank you everyone for coming to the stadium today. Please take your rubbish, don't just leave it there. I can see your rubbish lying around.